Oh my, it's Kellee White.
Hey, it's James Van God.
What are you up to?
Thinking about changing the world.
Me too. We should do a show together.
What would it be about?
Let me show you.
The James and Kellee Show. Hi. How are you?
Hi, Kellee.
Hi, James.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good because I'm with you. Nice top you're wearing. There you go. How do we do it? How do we do this every week?
It's a garden theme today.
It must be. And we love our flowers.
How was your weekend, Kellee?
My weekend was good. My weekend was good. I want to hear about your weekend because I know you had a special experience.
I did. I had a special experience. I was I went to my second open COVID gathering, I guess you call it. And it was a friend's 60th birthday party, and another friend of mine threw this beautiful party by the water in Del Mar, California. And I brought my friend Kellee Russell, who was on our show before, my yoga teacher, and her lovely husband Kevin, who we'll be having on the show, who also does incredible type of energy healing work, which he worked on me at this party and was like, wow, it really helped. It was amazing what he did. My foot was bothering me. Next thing you know, nothing was there, and I danced for 2 hours. And having a great time with some people, all strangers, and Kellee and Kevin and myself were just dancing for 2 hours.
Wow.
And everybody felt good. And then we found out, every once in a while, someone would come up and say, excuse me, I recognize you, but I don't know who we're from. Or one girl, because I read your book years ago, thank you for getting me on the path. I'm now doing energy work. Another person doing energy work. We found out that all the people that were at the party were energy workers from one way or another, one polarity to another, whether it's Reiki, whether it's hands-on healing, whether it's polarity work, whatever. It was all energy healers.
Wow. Well, that energy must have been fabulous.
It was fabulous. It was fabulous.
Oh my God.
It's so great that I would throw a party too. So in August,
I can't wait.
We're going to be there.
Oh, I wouldn't miss this. It'll be my first COVID party, after COVID party, I should say.
And it's an interesting time because a lot of people have not been vaccinated. Some people haven't been vaccinated. And we're in that little thing of like, so what does that bring up in us? What does that bring up? Does it bring up fear? Does it bring up, it's okay, surrender? What do you think, Kellee?
Well, I have a situation in my own family with this, actually. There's some that are and some that aren't, and it's causing some ripples, and I'm sure it'll come to some big cataclysmic event with my family.
Sure.
But if it's happening with my family, it's happening all over. Some people, I am vaccinated, and I know you're vaccinated. I feel more comfortable that way.
And I might have been different. I was like in my 20s. It might have been different. I have a lot to live for. In my 60s, I feel like I've had a good life. And it's, I don't know what happens, but I've had a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do feel like that in many ways. So at this point, when I hit my 60th birthday, I'm like, I'm happy.
Exactly. I want to stay a while. I'm not ready to go yet.
I'm really content. I'm very content. Just because, so we talk about medication, but my medication is meditation. So today we're going to talk about the art of meditation and help people with maybe some understanding about meditation. If they've never meditated before, what is meditation? So forth, how does it affect us physically, emotionally, spiritually? And at the end of the hour, I'm going to do a channeled meditation for everybody on expansion and letting go of resistance, because what you resist persists.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
it does. And this is a perfect time to talk about meditation because
tell everybody about this. This is pretty interesting.
It's really interesting. Well, first, let me just say Mercury goes direct tomorrow. So you're free to sign contracts. I'm going to say from June 25th on. I would not necessarily do it tomorrow because it takes a day or two to get the energy straight again. But once Mercury goes direct, it's going to be a lot easier time. But on the 25th, Neptune goes retrograde in Pisces. And what that's really important, it's important because it connects us, it urges us to connect to our spirituality, which is what meditation does for us. I mean, meditation is an extraordinary tool that we all need. And you teachers out there that want to know what to do with these children, teach them how to meditate. Teach them that. Give them that tool to begin their life with, because it will change their brain. And we'll talk about the brain waves because they're so important what meditation does.
Right. So, and before we begin, just talk about what meditation is and meditation is not. Because a lot of people think that in meditation, you got to sit in a certain position, or you got to breathe a certain way, or you got to focus on something, or it's not really any of that. It's meditation it is a focused awareness, if we will, but it's also, you can do that by, focusing on an object, perhaps. For instance, I got this when I was getting ready for the show. Spirit told me this because I wanted to wear something on my neck here. So I thought a mala, and they said, "What do you this one?" I heard in my head, the reason these necklaces or malas, what you call them, this instrument here around the neck, was originally worn. Yes, was because it usually will sit on the heart chakra, and people are focused on the heart chakra. So that is why you'll see, and they would talk about religious people, if you want to see priests or ministers or any religion, they usually wear something affecting the heart chakra. So people will be focused on that love center and open up to it.
Wow, that's
my hair. They just came through like that. So
so every necklace that I see, or every mala that I see that hits that area, I'll be focused on that. That's really interesting.
And then you look at a certain one, it's like, design
it's beautiful.
on it. So it's a focus. And I think I got this from somebody in Australia.
It's beautiful.
And it's beautiful. And it's just a focal point. So it's again, it's that sense of focusing your awareness and kind of getting out of your head. But in a minute, I'm talking about different types of meditation where you can actually use your head too. So we have that for people too.
Right. Wow. And
Kellee, think meditation, but you have to be in an exotic place. You got to have music on. You got to have the incense going. You have certain perceptions, maybe being holy.
You don't have to do it really any of that. But what I want people to understand is that meditation is all about the brain waves, getting yourself in that state of the brain waves. And there are 5 major categories or 5 major brain waves. The first one is called a gamma state. And a gamma state is where we're very functional. It's that moment that, we get it. It's a real powerful moment in our brain. Our brains are moving fast when we're in that gamma state. And then most of us find ourselves in a beta state. And a beta is where we're functional most of the time. It's analytical, it's planning, it's assessing, it's categorizing. And then there's the alpha state. Alpha state is where, when we do yoga, believe it or not, we find ourselves in an alpha state. It's a slower state. It's more a reflective energy in the brain. But then we get to the theta state. And the theta state is where meditation occurs. It's in the theta state. It's a more relaxed range in the theta state of the brain waves. It's where the visual comes in, so we can visualize. We use our visual mind and our meditative mind. It's what we call the third eye meditation. Its third eye takes place in this theta brain. And interesting enough, I wanted to tell a little quick story about this, but I, as most people know, I had a traumatic brain injury over 20 years ago. And for the first 3 years to recover, I found myself in deep meditations for hours for 3 years, straight through. And so I would go to my neurologist, and I would always have my EEG, and that's how they test your brain waves. And one day he said to me, completely out of the blue, he said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, "With what?" And he said, "In your life, what do you do during the day? What do you do?" I said, "Oh, I meditate." He said, "Do you do anything else?" I said, "Not really. I just meditate all day long." And he said, "Well, that answers the question. You have the brain of a Tibetan monk. Your brain is in theta." But guess what happened because of that? The result of this is how powerful meditation is. And I don't expect everybody for 3 years to go into a cave like I did and meditate. But what's important about it is it balanced my brain, And it allowed me to go to graduate school, because before that I was ADHD all over the place, and it's calmed my brain so much that I could concentrate, focus, and get a 4.0 in graduate school. And that
Wow.
has everything to do with that theta brainwave. So this is why meditation is the most important tool for mind, body, and soul, because it calms anxiety, it calms
Yep.
depression, and it
Yep.
balances your brain.
It lowers your blood pressure.
Exact, physically, everything. So I had to get that out. So a shout
Builds
out
up
to
your
the
immune
theta
system.
brain.
Yeah, and it builds up your immune system as well.
Absolutely.
It does. It calms you down, stress free. I agree with you, Kellee, and I've noticed it too. I say meditation is my medication because
Yes.
I create a meditation with almost every step I take in that. And because of the garden, of course, I'll look at a flower and I'll feel what the flower feels, and I'll watch my dog play. And I'm aware of my breath and the breathing. And if I am aware of that, I bring in positive, loving energy and let go of fear. Just the intention. It's not something you have to sit down and, okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to do that. It's an awareness. So it's a focused awareness. And that's important for people to know what it is and what it is not. So it is not that, but people think, oh, you have to go to, see a Buddhist monk to do this. You don't.
Right. You don't.
It takes the form of reading a book, could be meditation, watching a movie, gardening, cooking. It's because, remember, it's focused awareness. It's where it's just where you're focused on, and you're in that state. You get in the theta state. Now, Kellee, I'm going to throw something at you, my love.
Okay. Go ahead. Go for it.
Reading a book and watching a movie, watering the garden. What are some other ways we meditate?
Listening to music.
That's one. Yes.
Playing an instrument.
In a daily basis during the day.
Oh, doing the dishes.
Doing the dishes. Good one. Very
doing
good.
The dishes. Not that I know this one.
Keep on. You're a cook. You're a chef.
Oh, cooking. Oh, I'm constantly, yes,
big
cooking.
Yeah.
I don't even think. I go right into that state. Yeah.
That's right.
There's no thinking involved for me.
How about going to the shopping, to the store to get a bunch of bananas? Which bunch of bananas am I going to get? Oh, what's my favorite? Shopping. Oh, I get lost in the color or to figure that out. And I'm not in that state where I'm like a zombie buying things, but it puts you in that state of focus, of relaxation. Yeah. You're stress free. If you just go in, you don't want to be like, I have to get a white shirt. If you're there and you're just going to see, let's see what I can find, anything, we all do that when we're shopping. That's a form of meditation too.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I know.
That's amazing.
It's focused. Your microphone gets a little.
Sorry about that, everybody. Here we go. Okay, I'm back. Wow. Everybody's loving our shirts, James.
I got this for my 60th birthday. Remember, Kellee?
I do.
I have a photo with you and me. Yes, that's right.
It was great. Oh, yeah, shopping. People are loving that. Vacuuming.
Cleaning is a great meditation. Cleaning is great. Yes.
Wow.
Let's see what other ways you could do. Picking out shoes again. Cleaning closets. Good one. Yeah. I'm very good at. I'll look at like a shelf of books or something, or where my figurines are, whatever, and I'll make a scenario and I'll focus on that, and that becomes like a meditation. So, and even breathing can be meditation. All of that is a meditation. It's an awareness. It's a focused awareness.
Yes.
So now I think it's important. You want to answer some questions?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, cutting grass. Okay, Lisa Sanders says, I broke a 30-year smoking habit because of meditation. Great. Meditation saved myself from other destructive behaviors as well. Great, Lisa.
100%, Lisa. Great. 100%.
Fabulous.
Very true. New comments. Okay.
Okay.
Walking in the woods. Yes, walking with your dog. Good one.
Yes.
It's another great one. Yeah, it's very true.
Walking under trees. Riding my horse.
You bet. So it's just focused awareness. And so a little bit of that focused awareness, if we just open it up a little bit. So when I talk about meditation, when people ask me, well, why should I meditate? I always find that before you meditate, then we're just talking about everyday types of activities. But if you're sitting down to do a meditation, I think it's important to know, number one, what's the intention? Like, what are you hoping to do with this meditation? So you got to focus it a little bit with what the intention is. What do you think?
I think, yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it's always a connection with spirit. I love to sit and meditate. And I personally, I do that every morning. For me, it's in the morning, but also, and now that you've mentioned it, with the cooking and everything, I'm probably doing it all day long.
You do it throughout the day, Kellee. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you do it throughout the day. And I do it throughout the day. Even when I go swimming, or I go
Oh
swimming,
yeah.
I go swimming every day. And when I go, it's a meditation. And even
Yeah.
moving my arms, it's just a form of. And I'm not trying to get to the end of the pool. I'm just enjoying each moment and
Right.
movement of that, and it becomes encompassing. And I use that to be
Right.
encompassing and feeling great about doing it, being great about focusing my awareness.
And when you do that, it grows your intuition. It also grows your intuition.
It grows your intuition, and it gives us endorphins in the brain.
And guess what else it does? Guess what else? It also brings, when your brain is in that theta state, it brings out compassion for yourself and compassion for others.
Yes, it opens up. It opens you up. It's that love center. It opens you
Yes.
up.
Love center. Yes.
Love center. Love center.
Yes.
So at the end of tonight, I'm going to do a channeled meditation. I know it's all going to be about expansion, and then I'm leaving it up to spirit about what they want to do.
Oh, that's going to
So
be great.
it'll be fun. So, and I wrote down
Yo,
some things. Yeah.
Marge Rutka, she says, did I mention what the fifth brain was? No, I didn't. And the fifth one is delta, sleeping. So thank
Oh,
you for
Delta is
reminding
sleep.
me. Yes.
Delta.
Yeah. But you'll
That's
find, I was going to say,
transmedium.
good question. I don't know. Transmedium would be theta and probably into delta, I would think.
Theta to delta, I would think, and
Mhm.
there are some that go down for they go down slightly. I've done channeled material. I've done a trans state, and we've talked about this before. I don't care if it's for me because my mind
Yeah.
works so quick that that's hard for me. But when I've done it, it's done very well. And yeah, Mavis Attila said, I love the way you go down, James. It's very gentle.
Well, yeah,
People bring you down.
I've seen you
That's
go
right.
into it. And
Yeah.
I've watched your brain waves, and your brain
Yeah.
waves have gone all the way down like this, from way up at the gamma to down to delta. I've seen it, James.
Yeah. And then I'm outside of, like, when I come back in, I'm like, did time go? I'm aware the time sense
Right.
of time is changed, and yeah, it's very
Right.
relaxing in many ways. But I prefer mental mediumship.
Oh, can meditation help for PTSD? Absolutely. I'm going to say this about PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. Absolutely, it can. It can work magic for trauma. So people that have gone through trauma and had PTSD or trauma in their life, because who hasn't basically at any state, there's
Yeah, it's
that
being
sense of
human. Yeah.
meditation absolutely begins that healing process of compassion, of self-love, of worthiness, of self-worth. It's amazing what meditation can do. So
Yeah,
great question, Dana. Thank
great
you.
question. It's changing your awareness. It's changing your focus. So I wrote this
Yes.
down earlier. Society, and I got it from a great book, which I love. I've had this book. I have a really great library for years, and I put this book years ago. It's one of the best. I have so many meditation books. One of the best ones is called the Meditation Bible.
Oh, I don't know that one. Wow.
Right. It's like you have the Crystal Bible, right? I think
Yes,
you have
I
the Crystal.
sure do. I love it.
Might be the same author, but very well done.
Wow.
Madonna, I remember Madonna Gooding, Gauding,
Hmm.
and she really goes in depth about Himalayan meditations, thought clouds, watching your breath, different types of meditation. So I got a couple things in her book which I want to share, because society and many spiritual traditions instill the human aspects of worry, not being good enough, pain instead of gain. A lot of us get to focus on that pain self and that
Yes.
worry self and that fear self. And that's not who we are. So in meditation, it really is when you focus your mind on the right now. It's not the past, the present. It's right now. So if I was to say to you, what are you thinking of right this moment? Where are you focused? What are you focused on?
Yeah.
That's an important thing to look at. The energy, it's the energy you're bringing into your consciousness and awareness and giving it life. So remember that all thoughts are things. So everything we think becomes reality. Mm-hmm. And if we can bring ourselves to a higher level of happiness, focus on joy and love, even though we're going through a lot of the human stuff, you will give that more energy. That will give you life to love and happiness and joy. And that's really our natural state, is love. It's not fear. Our natural state of the soul is love. So when we reconnect with that self, we feel happier, gentler, because
when we feel happier, we feel better, and it changes the brain waves, so we can take a pause before reaction. It gives us our brain a time to think and to be calm before we react. It's a win-win-win.
Just wrote that. Stop reading my paper.
I'm so sorry.
And I just read that why not use meditation to learn how your mind and emotions work and develop positive habits? Why not do that? Just how your emotional self and your mental self come together. And when they come together, you can see how it affects your physical self.
That's it. That it's mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. It really is.
Mhm.
And the overall is that oneness, a connection of oneness, of
Yes.
love that is spiritual. We're spiritual beings. We're soul beings having a human experience. And the human experience is a tough experience. It's a hard experience. And
Oh,
we really, a good friend of mine who passed away, my friend who my book Unfinished Business, her picture is the end of the book, Violet. She passed over. She was in her 80s. She passed over. We used to talk every afternoon. I used to go over her house on tea in the afternoon. And we used to talk about spiritual things. You used to talk like that with this accent. And she was just great. What's it like when we go over? I'm just going to come back to you. I said, okay. And when she came back to me, which was when I was in the bathroom, peeing,
spirits.
another meditation, focused
Right.
awareness. Anyway, because I was not thinking, right? It was something I'm thinking, open. And she's in that accent. Oh, James, I wish the earth people could give themselves a pat on the back. They don't realize how hard they have it there, and that they've gone on to do it, and they should feel very good at their choice to do it because they're strong enough to do it, and they can make it. But it's hard, and they have to realize it is hard.
That
So
pat in the back. That's so true.
give yourself a pat on the back, she
Yeah.
said.
Oh, I'll remember that one. Wow. Catherine Kane says, example of intention. Do you keep thinking of something? If so, how do you keep your mind quiet? How do you quiet your mind?
Well, so a couple of things. So there are different types of meditation. So what's your intention? So an intention might be I'm more compassionate with myself. This meditation is all about myself, bringing love to myself. Another meditation, connect with my spiritual self. Another meditation might be forgiveness. You want to focus your meditation on forgiving yourself and forgiving someone else. Maybe you can go through in a meditation and see past experiences or things you're still holding on to that have to be cleared. Another form of meditation. Meditation might be also about abundance. See yourself happy and healthy, happy, holy. Seeing that situation, so the visualization that you do. So all different types of meditations, the intention behind it. Why are you doing that mind work? And if you keep that, what we call the mind, which happens a lot of meditation, the monkey brain. It's when you're in that state, calm state, and all of a sudden you get the chatter in your head, like, oh, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Or, oh, when is that? The guy who's stop cutting his grass, or whatever it might be, and we get focused on that. That's very natural. That's very normal for people to have the mind chatter. But what you do with that is you acknowledge it and let it go. It just goes away. There are 200,000 thoughts a day in our brain. So we're going to have that. But focusing back to, oh, wait, there it is. Let it go. I always go back to the breath, breathing in and breathing out. And I just go back to that wave of the breath. It's like the Buddhist said, when you're in the water, you'll have waves, and the river's got to flow, and you can't stop the flow of the river. So might as well stop and enjoy it.
Oh, I
That's
love
it.
that.
We're
Yes.
going to go by and just acknowledge them. Don't give it energy. And before you know it, you'll be relaxed. That's how I got into meditation. I was trying to meditate way but 42 years ago.
Yeah.
And I tried the breathing and to focus on this, and it didn't work because I had the monkey brain, come in my head. And then I realized that a teacher of mine told me, you have to just don't give it energy, just acknowledge it and let it go. And it worked. And the moment I did that, I was in that state. And again, I came out of it maybe 10, 15 minutes later. And I was like, where was I? What happened? And that's when I opened up again, starting to see chakras. Chakra pointing to the auric fields when I was in that meditative state. When you said being more intuitive, it's exactly what happened to me.
Yes. Wow. Wow.
Like releasing that stuff.
Can meditation heal a physical ailment, Audrey Helmass?
Yes, I believe. Yes, it can. I think there are many factors to a physical element, but I think one of the best things you can do is meditation, putting yourself in that
Well,
loving
it's so
space.
interesting. Yesterday, I watched a movie on trauma with Gabor Mate. It was a great movie. And in it, at the very end, he had a man who had cancer for many years. And Gabor taught him how to meditate. And he started meditating. He meditated. And after about 2 years, the cancer actually went away. It was so
Wow.
fascinating.
Wow.
So,
Yeah,
yes.
I'd say yes. And I say, well, I mean, yes. I don't know. It's so hard to say because I've been through the AIDS crisis with people. I used to work at the AIDS Project Los Angeles. I've been through a lot of food banks. A lot of different situations. I worked in hospitals.
Yeah.
I've been with people on all different levels, and I did meditation with them, visualizations, things, and many of them were helped. Were they healed?
Yeah.
Some were healed, no doubt
Yes.
about it. I just finished healing Maisie, my dog, about
That's
2 or 3 months
right.
ago, through a meditative state.
Yep.
Driving the car is a meditative state also.
Oh,
It's focused awareness.
right.
And on top of that, when my dog was there and just come out of the vet, focused awareness, it was like I was channeling. I didn't drive to it; it just came in to heal her from driving. But I'm using that healing energy, and it formed. I saw it went into her pancreas, and I saw the shape of this cruddy material there. I pulled. I think I've told the story, but I have to share with everybody again. And I pulled it out energetically to her digestive system. That was the end of it. I felt it was time to stop and was moving on. Didn't get in an accident. And got home and she went to poop and she pooped out exactly the shape of what I saw clairvoyantly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was all done with that focus and that awareness and the intention, of course, of healing her, of that pure loving state.
Yeah.
Love it's connected back to that loving being of who you are.
The loving being and intention.
Intention.
Yeah, that focused awareness. That really was it. Brandy Shipman says, what if you're listening to music or something similar while cleaning and doing other things? Does that disrupt the meditative brainwaves? I don't think so, because you're so focused that I don't think so. I think it actually helps put you in that state.
It enhances it.
Enhances it. Yeah.
I would say it because
Great
you're
question.
making things. I'm talking to people at ADHD. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Oh,
I still do it. I still wiping something down and I'm going to have to pick something else up. And I go, what was I doing 5 minutes ago? Yeah. And it gets worse with the age, of course. So.
Oh, it really does. Well, this is a great question. Oh, Patty D says, sometimes I have a glass of wine. Is it okay to meditate? Oh, sometimes, huh? Okay to meditate after an hour or two, or having one, or not good to? I personally, if I'm going to drink, I don't meditate. It just gets in my way. I don't, they're mutually exclusive for me. James, how do you feel?
Same for me. I find that alcohol, and I love wine.
Oh, please.
I have one after the show. And I just find that same. I would not put those two together.
No.
Oil and water, whatever. I would put those together because in certain ways, alcohol lowers your vibration. It slows things down, if you will. And yes, we could say that, well, then you get the brain waves, but it's physically slowing you down in a way that, I just think you get there easier with the mind. And I think it messes things up a little. It clouds things up, at least for me, from my experience.
Me too.
I was doing a show, a demonstration to them with a medium who drank right before we went on. And I had coffee, which is fine. It brings up the adrenals and the energy.
Right. I was so floored when you told me that experience, James. I was floored.
You down. And it'll slow you down to a point of just delta state. It'll be a drunk state. And then who knows what comes in and goes out. I mean, you got to be aware of what's around you, what you're drawing to you when you're working as a medium. Anyway, this person on stage and could barely get certain things. And I had to finish up all of them because they couldn't stay focused enough.
Oh.
They focused enough with the link of the contact, really dig into the evidence, go deeper and deeper, but it's more like psychic snatch and grab. And that's not good enough for the spirit world. That's not good enough for the people in the audience. You got to be the best you can. So I suggest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mary Baker says, how long should you meditate for? What do you think?
So Mary Baker was a lady. This is not this Mary Baker, but I remember Mary Baker from a trip I did, a tour to. Your earpiece is bothering you.
So
Kellee.
Sorry, it just keeps coming out. Right. There you go. My hair. What can I say? I had extra curly hair today. Okay, I'm done now.
You're retrograde.
Yes.
Yes. Mary Baker. She went to Machu Picchu with me, and she went some cruises with me, and we had a great time. And she's passed. Okay. So went through the whole process with her of that. It's different for each person. Again, when if you're not in the right space and you're always thinking about it, you're not going to be in that space because you could be in your head. Right. So you really want to go with the breath, and you'll feel it. You'll know when to come back. You'll know when it feels right to come back. So I wouldn't put a time element on it. I just wouldn't, again, put worry or time to it.
And I would enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process.
Really helps. And also, somebody asked earlier about the binaural beats, and they actually help. Oh, there you go, Leslie Simpson. What are binaural beats that are used with brain entrainment meditation? I have PTSD and traumatic brain injury, and my doctor recommended meditation 4 times a day, yoga, and the brain entrainment. Yes, Leslie, I feel your pain. 100%. Binaural beats beats, you can get them online. It has to do with each brainwave, and each binaural beat will make a certain sound and go combine with another one. And it's about brain balance and lowering the brain waves to get you into that theta state, honey. And it's really good. So since you've had those things, that's exactly what I did. The 4 times a day, yoga, all of that is great for traumatic brain injury and PTSD. Keep going, girl.
And the radio waves of I don't know the exact the number of it, of the way the hertz,
Yes.
the wave, it's unconditional love, that loving vibration. I think it's 455 hertz. One of our people might know that. And there's actually radio programs, or online. There's some stuff on YouTube too. You actually get that state of love just from listening. So I'm sure everybody knows about that.
Oh, this is a great question. Kellee McBride, how do you stay awake? I always fall asleep during meditation.
What do you think, Kel?
Well, I, on occasion, have been known to fall asleep on occasion. But normally I don't. Normally I'm in just a real deep, probably in between theta and delta, and I have the ability to pull out. Now, here's the thing: when I sleep, I can't wake up. Anybody will tell you, when I fall asleep, it's hard for me to. I don't just wake up from sound or anything. I really am out. So, yeah, I'm a good sleeper, as they say.
I work with a lot of people with this situation in my workshops and so forth. And one thing I want to say is there's some level of you, maybe physically you're not knowing what you're going through because you're not aware of it, but on some level you're receiving something. So it's mainly for a recollection, but you're receiving it on another level. And that's important to know. Some people fall asleep to be, in some way, I think it's a way of letting go of control, that your physical body saying, or your brain saying, you know what, you're going to get the fullness of this. I'm going to knock you out so you can get the benefit of this and not try to be in control of it. Because if they're trying to be in control of it, you won't be there. You'll still be fighting it. Resistance,
Right. This is so interesting. Listen to this. Chris Zagalo makes a comment. He said, or she said, I heard Michael Jordan speak on a show, and he said his mother taught him how to meditate at age 2. He's been tested, and he plays basketball in the theta brainwaves.
It's great.
That's a great story, Chris. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, and that's how we work as mediums in that theta state.
That's how we work.
And it's a very interesting, it's a dichotomy in a way, because you have to bring up your power. You bring your energy up to the vibration, up to frequency, to connect to the spirit world on a higher vibration. But on that higher vibration, you gotta have to put yourself in that theta state.
In that theta state.
Where
that third eye.
The third eye.
Third eye.
And that's surrendering too. That's letting go, surrendering, being in the stillness of your being, yet at that high awareness.
Right. Now, Steve K says, Anne Margaret. Hi, Anne Margaret. James, do you have a silent mantra in Sanskrit that you say silently during meditation?
I don't say it silently. I don't. See, I don't necessarily buy into that. That's just I do. Healthy am I, happy am I, holy am I, and so it is. Healthy am I, happy am I, holy am I, and so it is. And that's my mantra. I use that every day, and it's done me well. And then of course, in the morning, I say, "You have my cup there. There you go. There it is." Yes, and they're available.
I say this every day. They're available. I love it.
I have them from up in retail, but I have a bunch of them. So I also, again, intention is so important. So every morning when I get ready, you've heard me say this before, take a shower, I become aware afterwards of cleanse the energy body, and I'll say, may God go before me and show me the way. That word God is a high frequency. So you're sending out the intention in the waking state of really, that's the feeling, the sense of that space around you is filled with that frequency of love, of God love.
Oh, now, Steve K., what about cannabis and meditation?
Cannabis will help you let go and control easier. Go for it. I've done coffee beans.
It would change the brainwaves.
I love coffee beans, I've done coffee beans in my garden, and I love coffee beans because it's easy. But I wouldn't certainly meditate on it. It's in itself a walking meditation, because wow, that flower is so colorful. And that's great for the time that you want to do, just like a glass of wine. But I would mix the two. Some people say it's the same, but and even doing journeying on ayahuasca or mushrooms or whatever they have, and that's, it's gonna. Sometimes I heard this claim. This is interesting, and certain medication will push you to that edge, to the other side of awareness, but you might not be ready for it, right? Psychologically, you might not be ready for it.
Oh, completely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you have an opening and you're not ready, oof. Cornelia Williams, I use meditation since I had a ruptured aneurysm. Oh, honey. And it helped me with short term memory and seizures. Oh, my
Like
gosh. You're
you.
absolutely right. It does help with short term memory and it does help with seizures. Thank you for mentioning that, Cornelia. Sorry about that, but God, it's such a smart thing that you just said. Thank you.
It's true.
Oh, my
Wow.
gosh. So, what does the holy am I mean? Melanie Barbuschio says.
Healthy am I? Happy am I? Holy am I? So my intention of holy, for me, is part. I'm the oneness. I'm part of the whole. I know it's HOLY, but the wholeness of everything. That's what
Yeah.
and I think in some ways what holy meant when they came up with holy, being part of the whole, being part of the
Oh,
whole.
absolutely. I
That's
love
really what it.
that.
That's how I look at it. So that's what I use it. Healthy am I? Happy am I? Holy am I? So, and you're directing that force to yourself.
Right.
To yourself.
So, Kyle Elizabeth Hodges says, what's the difference between the third eye and the mind's eye? I think it's the same.
It's the same thing.
It's the
Same
same.
thing.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
The mind is your soul too. When you have soul vision, if you're using the mind's eye. It's the third eye. Many people refer to it. The pineal gland is a physical aspect of it.
Yeah. So Vicky Trenko asks a good question. Is there a link between the theta waves and lucid dreaming? And can you get to lucid dreaming by meditating? I'm going to say yes. I think the
Yeah,
link is between the
that's how I
theta
thought.
and delta. Yeah,
I
theta
would.
and delta waves. That's where that comes in, that lucid dreaming. It's not quite sound asleep, but it is sound asleep. It's at that combo place. It's a great
And
question.
what about Kelly in the dream state, which
Mhm.
we'll do a show on dreams, when you have the visitations, or we'll call them crossovers, the other side.
Ooh.
So what would the body, the brain, probably in delta, I would
Probably
think.
be in delta. I'll tell you why. Because in that state, James, when they're visiting us and we're visiting them, so we have to be pretty out, and our soul has to travel a lot. So to make that awareness, so I think it's
And
delta when that
to
happens.
have the consciousness be aware of it's an interesting thing too. Because
Yes.
if you're over that delta, and then but you're consciously aware at certain times, like at a little part of the dream or the visit.
Right. And
Um,
that's why always tell yourself before you go to bed that you want to remember, because often we'll have visitations and people won't know until 2 or 3 days later. All of a sudden they'll hear somebody's name and go, oh, yeah. And then it penetrates their brain and they go, oh, yeah, I saw Aunt Millie, or whatever it happens to be. But always
and
remember, try to remember.
I would say an intention, if you will,
Yes.
is that
Set
I
the
do this.
intention.
Set the attention, but also have a dream journal next to you. On my side
Always.
table, I have a pad there with a pen.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how it saved me in that the symbolisms I've had, the questions I've asked, even designs I've come from my garden. I mean, certain things I have to write about, book about, or write down for a blog. I tell you, that's how it's
You'll
come
get
through a
a
lot.
lot of your answers answered in that
Yeah.
state. And I really believe that that's a theta delta state in between. Jennifer Franklin says, I
Great
get
question.
scared during meditation. Does that block spirit from communication?
Yes. So fear is a block. Fear is a wall that you're putting up. And that's the human brain. The human mind can create a lot of things to happen.
Yeah.
Evil and all that worry and that they don't exist, but the mind can create that. The
Yeah.
human brain creates that. Why I would say number one, getting scared during meditation. Why? So what fear aspect have you
Yeah.
programmed in there to getting in tune with your spirituality? Can I go back to formal religion when you were younger? A lot of times it does. Or someone else's belief system you're holding on to, Kelly.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It could be a belief system, a religion. It could be, I'm not sure
Religion.
why anybody would get scared during meditation because it's just going inward. Are you an
It's the
anxious person? It's the opposite. Are you an anxious person? And if you are, meditation is key. It's critical if you're anxious to calm the brain down, to calm everything down. It's a natural state of being,
That's a natural state.
meditation, natural state.
It's very true. Very, very true. Very
Oh,
true, Kelly.
oh my gosh. Um, Laura Essex, what about people with narcolepsy that have vivid instant REM cycles and instantaneous dreams? I, I
That's for you, Kelly.
yeah, narcolepsy is when all of a sudden I had the most god awful experience once. I was driving with somebody from an airport from Chicago. He had picked me up and he was driving and I didn't know he was narcoleptic and he went out.
No.
Well, me in the front
No.
friggin' seat, James.
I'm
Yeah.
driving the
He was driving. It was horrible. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. And I tell you what, if I didn't believe in God at that point, I sure did, because somehow we were able to move his foot and stop the car and get pulled over without getting killed. So narcolepsy, I know a lot about it. Sadly, I had to learn. I'm like, what does this mean? This was a
You need to
long
put that
time
in a
ago.
book. You need to put that in a book.
Oh my God,
Sorry.
I should put that in the book. I think I should. You know what? I forgot about that. So thank
You
you,
should,
Laura.
because that's an
Oh
incredible
my
thing. And you
God.
lived through it. That's
Oh,
incredible.
well, if
Aaron, your
you're
book.
oh yeah, if you're narcoleptic, I mean, it's that part of your brain, and I have to say it's probably delta and gamma going off at the same time. I mean, you've got a real situation there.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh
Wow.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Is,
I don't like
that,
it.
is that inherited, you think, or part of it inherited, or genetic, or just wow?
Probably, who knows? That's a great question. I don't
Curious.
really know how that happens. It has to do with the brain, though. It's everything
Yeah.
with the brain. Our brain is our operating system. You
Yeah.
know,
True.
it's how we
True.
get around
Our computer, our awareness, what we
our
look at our
awareness.
perception. Yeah. And when you let yourself just release, again, when you resist, what you resist persists. So
Yeah.
when you're able to let go and relax, and then whether it's through breathing, whether it's focusing, whether it's feeling warm with a blanket around you, whatever it might be, it's getting to that state of receptivity, because when you're receptive, you grow, you expand, you're giving yourself room to grow like a flower, a plant, just growing towards
Yes.
the sunlight and just being part of everything. We
Right.
think as humans, we're this little thing, we're part of everything. Everything
Everything.
is connected, the oneness. And the more meditation you do, at least from my experience, the more I become aware of that oneness of all things. And I'm like, we are
So
like
true.
prisms. We're like prisms. My near-death experience, one of the most incredible symbols I remember was a prism. It looked like prism, that I was a prism, everyone shared this light.
Wow.
I remember my thoughts would color that light, either
Oh,
make it darker or lighter, depending on the thought content, right? So in meditation, it brings you to that natural state of relaxation,
right.
of joy, of beingness.
Right.
We
Well,
don't have
this
to
is
worry with the anxieties that we have in human life.
exactly. So this is a great question. Laura Parmley Hoffman says, "How would you start teaching and helping younger kids learn to meditate? Because really, we've got to teach our young ones how to meditate in order to get through and survive and thrive in this world."
100%. And I would say, as I tell all parents about this with children, meditation, first of all, I think the best way to start with the child is, how do you feel? How does the
Mhm.
body feel? How do your toes
Yes.
feel? How do your arms feel? Let them go into their feelings about things. Acknowledge their
Great.
feelings. Let them express how they feel. Does it make you feel happy or sad? Why are you sad? So if you get them that inner journey awareness of that,
Mhm.
you eventually get them to, how does the color clothing you're wearing feel to you? And then get to the breath. What does it make you feel when you breathe
Breath
happy?
and breathing, teaching them how to
Breathe.
breathe. Pay
And then
attention to the
feeling
breathing.
energy. And
Mhm.
feeling energy, almost like, oh,
Yeah.
Laura Plumley Hoffman. Yes, I remember you guys. I remember this couple. Isn't the couple in upstate New York? No, I don't know. Remember that couple? I think it might be.
I know that no, I know that couple because I
Oh,
heard from
that's
that
right.
couple. I can't believe you said that. I actually heard
They
from them
remind me of them.
yesterday.
He has a male brain. He has a female brain. The male
Okay,
body.
I
She,
can't even believe
right?
you're saying that
Oh,
because if they're watching this show, I actually
because
heard from them today. How weird is that? I cannot believe you even said that. Oh, are we
they
just
remind me.
constantly like this?
The two of them remind me of them.
Totally,
Their
totally.
energy. Sorry,
Yeah.
you guys. Your energy is that's how it is. Okay. Anyway. What are we talking about? What question?
Got a little distracted. I tell you what, that couple really, I'm going to be working with them. So there you go.
They're a great couple, aren't they? Great from Hudson Valley, New York.
Wonderful.
Such a
Wonderful.
great couple.
So here, Amy Wilson says, if brain waves are low and slow, how do we reach our guides, our spirit guides? I think she means if their frequency is vibrating fast. That's really how we reach them is through that state.
So, number one, Amy, why are you slow? Why won't you let yourself take the time to raise your vibration and enjoy the process of going higher and higher? The flower has to go through the dirt to grow, right?
Yeah.
Has to go through that dirt.
Yeah.
And you have to go through this process of letting go, learning to let go. You can't get it right up here in the first part. You got to let yourself release, let go, surrender, enjoy,
Yes.
feel you're worth it, right? A
Yes.
lot of people feel they're worth it. And your guides are there on a happy, loving level. So you got to get to that level on your own, baby. You got to do the work. You got to love yourself. Slowly, step one at a time, one step at a time, and enjoy the steps. That's part of meditation.
Enjoy it. That is part of it. It really is. You're learning something. It's really a wonderful, wonderful process. Um,
You
let's
don't want to
see.
rush it. You don't. A couple
No.
things, Kelly, I just want to mention here that I wrote down earlier, which
Oh,
I just want to
please.
mention. Because people often wonder about techniques. Um, well, number one, there could be the technique, and we also talk about intention. Could be a future event, visualize a future event to happen, create it to happen, give yourself
Okay.
space and time to make things happen. It is make sure when meditation is really down to earth. It's so down to earth. It's so real. I once had a lady come to my place where I was living, and I was doing a class there years ago, way before I knew you, Kelly. And I was teaching them to get in contact with spirit. And she said, listen, this question is reminding me of this. She goes, I don't want to do the spirits. I just want to go to the guides. I just go right up to the higher levels. And I said, really? I said, well, I can't teach you that. I first got to teach you to get in touch with everyday people. So you have to leave the class because I can't do that.
Right.
And she left. And it's just, you got to go to that nitty gritty. You got to just learn to go within yourself and grow slowly and give yourself that. Here we go. Something good. Give yourself space and time to make it happen. It's very down to earth. You can't be so spiritually evolved, earthly good.
Oh, I love that. I
From our
love
friend
that.
Patilla. It's so great.
Mavis. Yep.
You can't be so spiritually evolved that you know earthly good.
That's a great imitation of her, by the way.
Yeah, it's one of my better ones. Okay. I did that to her once and she went, oh, priceless. Okay. Even if you have no belief system about a higher source or energy of God, which a lot of people here is like, well, if I don't believe in God or I have no belief system, then what? Well, just use meditation to have a happier life.
Yes.
What about that?
Well, transcendental meditation, it doesn't mean that you have to believe in this or that. It's really believing in your own source, in your own higher self.
Exactly. And there are different techniques. People ask, what kind of technique do you use? Because humans, we caught up with technique. Like when people ask me, who's my guide? How do I know what's their name?
What's their name? Yeah, I get that all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like feel the energy. That's really more accurate what you feel. It's all that human stuff. Give me a name. So techniques, some techniques are visual. Some might be focused visually on things. Some people can see color. Some people can see a scene. A lot of people, Kelly, say, why? I didn't see red. I wasn't able to see that garden. Why is that? How do you answer?
I just go, okay.
Okay. So what I do is I say, people are different. So some people are more visual. Some people are more sensing. Right. But don't get caught up in it's just merely suggestions. So in meditations, it's suggestions to you. Right. You might not see the red or blue color. I'm talking about that. Or if you see the garden or feel something, but you know how you're feeling inside because you're breathing. So how does the breath feel when someone gives you a suggestion about going into a garden and going over a bridge? What does it feel? What memories does it bring up? So there's no right way or wrong way. Some people see colors vividly, others don't. It doesn't matter. It's not that you're doing it wrong. So that's really something people should realize. Right. We're all different. They're all different styles of meditation. They're all different ways in, if you will. And it's really most importantly what resonates within you. Because everyone's different.
Right. I mean, there are times when I do a guided meditation, and then times I just sit contemplating in quiet meditation. It's both.
I go and I plant seeds in the ground, and it's a meditation. I'll pick I mean, it's all different ways in, and it's just seeing a sunset is a beautiful meditation.
Right.
We're watching a bird fly, watching a hummingbird.
So true. So true.
I have hundreds here now. Yeah. So it's focusing on an object, breath. Think of a virtue or turning negativity into positivity, creating a positive change in your life. And you can visualize or create a picture in your mind that your mind will see. Processing, experience a means to an end. Remember, meditation, there's a means to an end. It's not like, I got to get this right now. It's a slow process. There's a means to an end, and that you're going to feel better. You're going to have a happier life.
Yeah.
The end result, it will get to you there. It will get to you. Don't think you have to do it in a day.
No. Not at all, but it's a muscle too. You practice it, and you just do it. And then next thing you know, you're noticing, you're observant, you're kinder, you're gentler, you're easier to, I mean, you'll see people will say, boy, something's different here.
Yeah.
Different awareness.
Well, yeah. So we want to do one more question, then I'll do an expansion meditation for everybody.
Okay, so Jerry Lynn Pace Gleave says, James, any advice on interference during meditation? Good question.
Yeah, so we talked about a little bit earlier, Janine. We mentioned this. So it's called the monkey brain, the monkey mind, where you'll be in a space where, in meditative state, things you try, don't try, just be. So just go. I was, you'll get thoughts about things all the time, the interference, if you will, but don't focus on the interference.
No.
You're going to have that. So just let that go. You're going to have it. It's a real thing, but you don't have to focus on it. So acknowledge it, let it pass by, and then go back to your breath. I found when you go back to your breath, you go right back to the center. So that's how I would suggest. It's really helped me going back into the breath.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Wow.
So, meditation, everybody. And this is going to be a meditation which is channeled. So I'm not even aware of what's happening. Kind of. I am, but I'm not. I'm kind of like not a trance, but a kind of semi-trance I'll do. Okay. So it all starts with the music for me.
Okay.
So, and for everyone else around, we'll just see what happens. All right. So just close your eyes, and I'm going to give you suggestions. And can you hear that? Okay, Kelly?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So everybody, wherever you are in the world, whether you're sitting down, whether you're lying down, give yourself this time, this gentleness, this special time right now for you. We sit together for you, for the benefit of you, for your highest good in all aspects of your being, to give yourselves a little time to come back to truth, come back to your real self, coming back to you. So in these suggestions, you might find that you resonate with certain ones, or you might not, and your mind might go off in a crazy place. That's fine. Give yourself the ability to let yourself go off. It's okay. But you're always going to hear the sound of my voice and the music behind it. So I will be your guide. I will be your magnet. You can hold on to me the whole way. That's just fine. I'm always here. So as we sit together in this space, and you hear my voice and the music behind, I want you to focus to your inner light. You've closed your eyes to the outside world. Now open the inner light, the inner eyes to your body, to yourself. Becoming aware of what it feels like as you look into the body. You can feel or sense the heart that slowly pumps the blood through the body. And with each pump, each beat brings love, light, healing to the physical body. Every tissue, every cell, every muscle, every fiber is being fed with pure, loving energy from the heart flowing through it, feeding it, giving it love, giving it love, giving it love. And the body is a beautiful, perfect way of letting go of toxins, releasing which is not good for you. Just letting it go, letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. And as you sit together now, just imagine that you're sitting under this big, big globe of light, a round circular goldish white light, all-encompassing. And this beautiful light casts a shadow all around you of your body, of yourself. But this light is warm, feeling of gentleness and kindness, compassion, love. You've sensed this energy of this light before. You've experienced it many times, but maybe the conscious mind doesn't remember. So we now will invite this light, this awareness, this energy to be part of your space, and you, the ego, to let yourself be part of that light space. So let's begin with the breath. The breath opens us up, opens the door, and gives permission for us to sense, to feel, to receive. And as we exhale out of our mouths, we're going to let go, release, surrender, let go of resistance, and just be. So together, as we breathe in, imagine that beautiful light coming closer and closer, and you being engulfed As you go closer, feeling more love and joy with every wave of that light. So breathing in that light and breathing in all the way down to your feet and holding it. 2, 3, 4. And now exhale and let go out of your mouth. Release. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And again, bringing more of this warm, beautiful golden light. And inhale. Fill yourself up in your toes all the way through your head and above and around you, all around you. You are that light. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. Good. And then again, bring in that beautiful warm light of health, love, surrender, positivity to every part of your body. And inhale, allowing, surrendering, filling you up, and let go and release. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And as you travel now with the mind, you're surrounded in this beautiful light. You're the center of that light. And as you feel the sensations of being the center of that light, the pulsations of the light, the oneness, the connection to all that is, soon that light becomes a flower. And you are lying down in the middle of this beautiful flower, this yellow rose. You're in the middle of this rose. It encompasses all around you. You feel one with the rose, one with love, one with light. And this beautiful space, become aware now that you, the spiritual being, is on this beautiful soft bed of light. And below you, far below you, is a physical body, that vessel, the structure that gets you from one space to another, that your soul must use in the physical world. But that is below you. You are now above in this light body, your beautiful light body. And as you look up above you, you see a crown of light, a beautiful crown. And you see your face, your eyes, your cheeks, your mouth. The pureness of your being, your higher self, begins to descend lower and lower to your spiritual light self. And you become one now with the higher self, your higher unique being. Sense it, feel it. What is that sense and the feelness of pure wisdom, knowledge, inspiration feel like? Become aware now in this state of being. What challenges you have in the physical body? What challenges are there in the physical body, or patterns that you need to heal, that you need to let go? You need to surrender. Being aware of it is the first step to healing. Breathe in, and now we're going to release that awareness. Let that go, that program. Let it go. Break the pattern up. Good. Let it go. Let it go. Good. Now be aware of the mental state. Looking to the mental self. What worries you? What patterns of fears, limitations, resistance do you have in the mental body? What purpose is it serving to you? What purpose are these mental anxieties, these limited beliefs, this resistance? What is it serving for you? Why do you carry them along in the mental body? And now we're going to breathe in that light, that mental aspects to you to let go and inhale. And now you can release. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And now, my friends, you become aware suddenly that your higher self melds with your heart, the emotional body, this beautiful green light, this green body you have, the emotional self. I would like you to scan the emotional body. What are you still holding on to? the imbalances, the fears, the upsets, not being able to forgive, not being forgiven, parents, ancestors, siblings, friends. What is it serving? What purpose is it serving for you to hold on to these emotions, these unresolved emotions? Is it in your best interest? Does it hold you back? Why do you hold love back from yourself? See it. Once you realize it, we're going to breathe more love and light into those patterns for you to release those emotional bonds. And inhale and exhale and let them go. Release, let it go, let it go, let it go. All we need as souls is an awareness. If we set the intention that this no longer serves me for my highest good, I am releasing it. I am letting it go. Many times other people own our power. Now you have your power back. How do you feel? Strength. And as you're in this space, become aware now of the symbol that appears in front of you that represents love of self. Love of self. Love of self. Bring that symbol into your heart, the emotional self. And you find suddenly that you feel as if you're descending, slowly coming back into the awareness of the physical self. But as you come back to the feet, the legs, the torso, the shoulders and arms and hands, and the back, midsection, chest, neck, and head, you come back in a sense of fuller, of lighter, empowered, love. You see the things that you have that you think are troubles and problems and fears. See them for what they are. You can handle anything. And slowly within your own mind, please repeat these words after me. Healthy am I. Happy am I. Holy am I. Healthy am I. Happy am I. Holy am I. Healthy am I. Happy am I. Holy am I. And so it is. And slowly begin to open up your eyes, becoming one with all that is here. Namaste.
Wow. Namaste. Thank you, James.
Thank you. Thank you, Kellee.
Wow.
Yeah, I came back at the end with the emotional body. I came back to my.
Wow. That was amazing. That was an amazing meditation. Wow.
Pretty cool. I don't. People have to be recorded. Well, this is
Yeah,
recorded.
this is recorded so people that can want to
And
listen
get
again can do this again. That
I never know
was,
where I'm at when I do those, but
oh my God, I saw this circle with all these points of light coming out as my symbol. Points of
wow.
light everywhere. It was, I'm gonna paint that actually, so I don't.
Well,
Everybody
it's
should draw their symbol.
well. I saw this. It's very
What did
similar
you
to
see?
that. I'm probably the same thing you did.
Oh my
And it's
God.
actually a light that I've seen in like a lamp plus or something, and it was gold, and it had like these. It wasn't the sun, but it was all these like spheres, rays of.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw.
I could.
I, I,
I'll go lamp plus tomorrow and buy us of some lights
okay,
because
don't
I've seen
forget.
it before. It's
That's well, I don't even know what to say.
that's why we play in the park together, Kellee.
Oh my God, that
Well,
was
thank you,
so great.
Kellee. Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
James. Thank you, Renee. We
Renee.
should we should mention that Renee actually teaches meditation. We met.
Renee teaches meditation. 6 years in teaching meditation. Renee does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Kellee, you're doing a show on Thursday.
No, I'm going to be off this Thursday
You're
because
off
I'm
Thursday.
writing, and I am going to put that what you said about the narcolepsy. I'll put in there.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
And I'm doing a
Um,
28-day transformation course. If people want to connect with that, that's the course that right now I'm
a great course, everybody, especially now with that retrograde with
Perfect time.
Perfect timing on that. And then we have a few, like 5, I think, slots left for the Roots of Healing on July 24th. We're doing an intensive. We're only taking 20 people. I think we have about 5 slots left, so you can look that up.
Right.
Well,
and we have more in July too. We have some very special guests. So
we have special guests. We have next week. We have a special show. This is all good.
Yeah. Tell everybody and tell your friends about it. Everybody, if you enjoy it,
please,
get the word out.
Get the word out. And then if you like the video, you hit like on the Google.
Or,
I don't know. I'm so out of it from the meditation.
If you like, I know. If you like it, please like us.
Please like us. Send us along.
Like somebody.
I love you.
I love you too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great night.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
The James and Kellee Show.